Welcome to Finding Solutions with eBay Joey and Stevie D. Welcome to a Reseller's Journey presents Finding Solutions. I am your host, eBay Joey, and my co-host, Stevie D. And if it is your first time, welcome. And if not, welcome back to the show. What's up, Stevie?
Not much, my man. What's going on?
Hey, man, it's another week, a new episode. Very excited. Got 3 new questions. How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing great. I had one of my best sales weekends of the year and just scooped up a couple pair of foam posits on the way home tonight. Cashed out for $450 profit real quick in the
Hey,
store.
congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. It's been a nice couple of days. How were your sales over the weekend?
Over the weekend, still normal. You know, I'm getting my eBay goat, and yeah, everything's. I'm just getting ready for golf season, track season, baseball season. So looking forward to future sales.
I see you with the getting ready for golf season with the weekly subtle flex in the background there for our viewing audience of those Jordan cleats. Real
Yeah,
subtle.
yeah. I want to shout out Stevie for telling me to pick him up and hold on to him for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
that's the plan. Oh, look at that nice mug. Well, we got 3 questions for today. The first question that we will be tackling is best ways to take care of stale inventory. Question number 2, do you use promoted listings? And if so, what is the percentage set at? Number 3, bribing employees to get a few steps ahead of the competition. So let's start with question number 1, Stevie. Best ways to take care of stale inventory. And before we answer this and find the solution for this individual, just want to put it in context. I looked up the word stale, dictionary.com, and it said not fresh.
Not fresh, yes. So I think there's a lot of ways you can tackle this. I think a lot of stale inventory would probably fall into 2 categories. One, just a flat out bad buy. The other thing that it could be is something that was an early pickup, nice comps, market flooded, and just never recovered. I mean, there is products that just do not recover ever after a mass flood. So I think one of the easiest basic ways to go about this is you got to just get as many eyes on the item as possible. I think there's a lot of people who just focus on, again, your eBay, your GOAT, your StockX, maybe Macari, maybe Poshmark. I think you got to open up some other avenues on top of that as well. Try a Facebook marketplace, see if you can pick up some local sales that way. There's some other little minor sites that you can use. I think Poshmark is still underutilized. I mean, I do move a lot of old product, stale product for pretty high pricing on there. So I think you just got to be creative and really spread out to as many sites as you can and diversify. Don't pigeonhole yourself into one. I mean, the other thing also is you can try to, possibly if you have 3, 4, 5 pairs of the same, try to bulk them together. If you sell as a lot of 5, maybe you'll get somebody who wants to come in and cash you out, at least break you even, hopefully for some profit. But I think you got to try some things outside of the norm to move this stale product or bad buy product that you've had over time. And, one of the other things to go along with it is how long have you had this product? Is it something you've only had for 2 or 3 months? I mean, I don't really classify that as stale. To me, stale is going to be a year or longer. I mean, we know with this game, it's sometimes 6 to 8 months until the market bounces back. So my personal thing is stale to me is 1 year or more. Then I would try to see what I can do to get the product out. But I think diversifying is probably one of the better ways to go with this.
Yeah, and I want to let this individual know that regardless on your years of experience as a reseller, everybody has a bad buy where you think the market's going to do this, the market's going to do that. I would classify it, as you said, um, you know, uh, as far as the product being stale. For me, I'm doing 6 months, and at that 6 month mark, I'm looking at, okay, has this product, is it still flooded? If my buy cost is $50, like for example, I bought these rock bags. So if I bought them at 50, 6 months later, what are they going for? Are they still selling for 75, 85, $90? Then that's when I hit the panic button. I'm trying to unload them. And at that point, like you said, I'm trying different platforms. I'm trying to get the visibility. I just want to get my money back. And if I can make a cool 15, $25, I'm okay with that. But I think you're going to have a fire sale. And hey, 15%, 25%, whatever it is that you're okay with or break even, it's totally up to you. So the main thing is just track the market, see where it's going, because if the item at 6 months it's still flat, there's potential it goes up, Stevie. And we've
Yeah.
seen that where it's like, oh my gosh, it's like at an all-time high.
Yeah, how many people were panicking over, like I said, them foam posits, some particle beige and a summit
Yeah.
white? People were dumping it, like, the price they paid for them, and that hasn't even been a year yet. And those summit whites, and they're $250 now for some of the right sizes. I mean, you got to hang on and be patient in this game. If you think you're going to get in and get out on something that's a common buy or flooded buy, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You got to be patient and really hang in there with it. If it's a premium item, wait it out. If it's crap that flooded and you took a gamble on, try to package it up or try to move it out as quick as you can and move on to something else.
Yeah, there's other resellers out there that will buy your inventory because they're in a different position than you. Now, I know you've done that in the past with people. They're like, "Hey, I want to move this." And if you feel comfortable with your network and you want to just unload it, that is an option as well. So this person does have some options, Stevie. It's totally up to them what direction they want to go in.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a handle, Stevie.D.reselling. If you're
Yeah.
looking to get cashed out, hit me up. If the buy's right, I'm in. There's also a bank named District Deals down in DC. He's known for mass cleanouts as well.
All right. Well, hopefully that helped out the individual. Question number 2: do you use promoted listings? And if so, what do you set the percent at? So
Okay,
this is
so
particular for eBay.
okay, yeah, promoted listings. I do use them. I've played with it over the years. And when I first initially went in, I was a little hesitant. Is it really going to work? I went in a little hard at first. I went in at like a 6 to 8% percentage, and yeah, I made some sales, but I was paying for it big on the back end. So one of the things that I do now is I generally set it around 2%. I will not. I know I'm not going to be the top listing that comes up in the search. I get it at 2%, but it does elevate me up the chart, and I get more exposure now, especially in the days now where $100 or more, you're not being penalized with any kind of fees on eBay. I think it's a good thing to use promoted listings and push yourself up the ladder. That's, if you look at it in hindsight, that's like you were giving those fees to eBay for selling on the platform. Now you're using it for promoted listings to move your product up. So exactly like we talked about with a stale inventory, use some of this now. Use this leverage of not having to pay at $100 or more. Put them in a bundle, 4 or 5 pair, list it, $200, $250 depending on what the shoe is, and promote it and get that product moved out. Promoting listings are good. I mean, I see, when I do generally use them, I'll see probably 70% of what I sell is going to be attached to a promoted listing. But the one thing I don't use it on is my thrift and used clothing. My thrift and used clothing, to me, that's something that people specifically search out. If somebody wants a, 1993 Colorado Avalanche hockey jersey, they're going to specifically look for that item. And I know there's not going to be tons of them out there. So, depending on the rarity of the item, I don't feel I need to really do a promoted listing on it. More commonplace items like a Ross Fine or Marshall's Fine, I need to push that up the ladder a little bit. I use that promoted listing. I think you got to play with it, though. Start out low, 2%, 3%. If you're not getting enough hits, move it up a little bit more and try it, and then monitor the fees of what you're paying and see if it works for your business model. But I definitely think it's a plus.
Yeah, just to be clear to the audience, when Stevie says there's no more fees over $100, that's only pertaining to athletic shoe wear. So as long as
Well,
your
in the
category,
men's and women's category, not
yeah,
children's. Okay.
that is correct. So for me personally, I do use promoted listings on every single item that eBay will allow me to. Now, when I first started, I was doing anywhere from 3 to 5% on the promoted listings, and I did notice that there was an increase in sales. However, there was also an increase on that eBay invoice as well. So, as long as you have enough margins with the items that you're selling and you're willing to give up an extra 3 to 5 points, that's your decision. Now for me, I just want to see if can I get that algorithm moving? Can I start getting orders coming in? And sometimes I would have like 3 to 4 orders in one day, and it was just ching 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 ching. So it was awesome. Now, Stevie, I'm only doing 1%. I do 1% across the board. And even if I'm the only listing, I still do 1%. Um, I just sold a pair of New Balances over the weekend. I was the only listing in that size. I did at 1%. I gave eBay $1.50, but guess what? I sold my product. Whatever eBay does on the back end to get the consumer to really be interested and wanting to buy that, I'm all about it.
Yeah, you got to remember, like with your product, you're the only one on the listing. But if somebody's
Yeah,
searching for a New Balance, black
yeah,
998, you're getting lumped in with a bunch of other models of New Balance or different,
yeah,
black with blue, black with orange. So yeah, I think in that case, promoted listings is definitely a bonus. Just like you said, be smart with it, monitor the fees, make sure it works for your business model. But I don't see why you wouldn't use it at this point anymore to try to give yourself a little bit of leverage and move up the ladder.
yeah. Like you said, you can always turn it on, turn it off.
Yep.
And, if you're going to have an edge, just like we're about to answer this next question, that's something that should always be considered. You always want to think, how can I outdo my opponent? And that's the person you're going up against, whether, it's in sports, you want to study film, maybe it's, being in the gym and working harder than the next person. This is another prime example of just outworking your competition.
Yeah, and give it a shot, like even like a holiday weekend, when you need to give yourself a little bit of push, if you're going into, we just came off President's Weekend, a lot of websites were running promotions, run one yourself as well and try to give yourself a little advantage. I mean, you got what's up next? You got St. Patrick's, you got Easter coming up as next ones. Try running like a 4-day weekend kind of promotion and see if you get a little boost in sales and, monitor your numbers that way.
Yeah, and also if you have an eBay store, you can really run some promotions as well. And I've done that where, you just test it out. I ran a promotion on some used collectibles, and I just said, hey, if you buy two, you get this percentage off, or if you buy one, you get this percentage off. Didn't make a difference. So guess what? I don't run that ad anymore.
Yep. Yeah, it's
All
just
right.
it's just, trying and finding out what works for you.
Exactly. Question number 3. Bribing employees to get a few steps ahead of the competition, cash or gift cards. And so on the show, when you send the questions, we answer them. I don't edit them. This is the real deal right here. So what do you do, Stevie?
I have a plug. I will be honest. I do have a plug in one store. It was a relationship that, really came from something that I shared in one of my videos on YouTube. It's just being nice to the employees. I've said it a million times. People go into a store and they think they deserve something or they, for some reason they should get the product. That's the wrong mindset. I mean, if you go into a store and you're courteous and you're nice to the employees out there, they don't want to hear your problems. They don't want to hear you complain that you're not finding the cleats and all this other nonsense. They have their own stuff to worry about. Oh, I see a lot of these employees in the stores. When you have a nice conversation with them and talk with them and get to know them, they get comfortable with you. They're into trying to help you out. I mean, they really are. At the end of the day, some of these managers, they live and die on their numbers. There might be a time where they need to push the business and they know you come through, you're a nice guy, woman, you spend a lot of money in the store, and eventually you strike up that relationship. Now, that's what I did. I built up a relationship with one of the stock ladies in one of my stores. Took about 6 months of, catching her here and there, and we strike up conversation. She let me. I asked her, hey, do you guys got a truck coming in this week? And she gave me perfect advice on when it was going to hit the floor. I gave her a little tip the next day, and I said, hey, listen, I appreciate you giving me a heads up on when that truck came in. Here's a little tip for you giving me that information. And she was more than happy. I gave her $20. I picked up a couple pairs of shoes, and that was 2 hours probably of pay, and she was ecstatic about that. And, she kind of saw that, hey, Steve came through, gave me a little bit of money. Let me let him know when the next truck's coming through. And it was just a slow build. Most of the time, you're not going to build this relationship overnight. It's going to take some time. You got to really test the waters and get to know the people in your store. But I've had more good situations come about with just being friendly with people and not even have to pay them. Ask a nice question. Hey, I just picked up 2 or 3 of these. Do you guys have any more in the back? Just a nice, easy. They're going to say no, or they may go in the back and grab them for you. Or in like a Burlington, hey, I just picked these up. Do you guys still have the box laying in the back for these? I want to give it as a gift to somebody. If you do it nicely, they may go look for you. But I think it's a slow build. If you want to try to bribe, I don't think you can come to somebody and be like, "Hey, I got $50 in my pocket. You want to go see what Nikes you got in the back?" Usually, that's not going to work. It's going to be a relationship building situation. You take care of them, you grease them a little bit here and there, make them feel appreciated, and you'll be surprised how many people won't help you out in the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, out of the big three, when I say big three, I'm thinking Marshalls, I'm thinking Burlington, I'm thinking Ross. Nike, it's a whole different animal, but usually the bigger the store, the harder with the personnel. But for me, I've had success with Marshalls. Now, with Marshalls, I want to get to know not the store manager, but I want to know the manager that's over the shoe department or whichever department it is, because this same manager that I talked to, she was also in charge of the Ray Dunn section, and so she had her Ray Dunn people, and then she had her shoe people, and then this girl, she was a hustler as well. She wanted products just to come in and then move right out of the store, and so what I ended up doing with her was just being friendly, being cordial. Didn't happen the first time I walked in, but it was doing the surveys. It wasn't, hey, give me a gift card to Starbucks or hey, throw me some cash. For some people, it's an ethical thing. This is their job as well, and so you want to be very careful. And some people have certain beliefs where that just doesn't fit with them. But for me, I'm taking the same approach as you. Be nice, be cordial, be courteous, ask questions, be friendly. Now, if that's not who you are naturally, then now you have to get into character. When you walk through those doors, you have to be that new person, because no one's going to want to mess with you or talk to you if you're going to be a jerk about this.
Absolutely, and it's funny too because I wear a suit and tie every day, so there's a lot of times I go out on my lunch break and I'm the guy they see 4 or 5 times a week walk through their store in a suit. So sometimes they crack jokes with me because I'm friendly when they walk by. I say hello. I ask them how their day is. I don't just walk by somebody and ignore their existence. You know what I mean? When you see a stock person and they drop a pair of shoes, pick the shoes up for them and hand them to them. Those little things go a long way. And a lot of times you'll build that relationship, like you said, without having to give them money. Marshalls is a perfect example. You have a lot of times where managers are looking to move items, clearance, red tag, yellow tag. They need to get it out, get new product in. They know you're a bulk buyer, whatever the merchandise may be. Eventually, they see you do it. You don't return the merchandise all the time. You buy it and don't bring it back. That's huge in a lot of these stores. If you're going to bulk buy something and you're going to bring it all back, they're going to remember that because you're wasting their time. I make purchases, and like I said, I do not return unless there is a defect on the item. I'll suck it up and move it out some other way. I'm not going to put that back on the employee in the store. And, it's one of the things recently in my Nike, I was talking to one of the employees and they mentioned how much of a pain in the ass that is when somebody brings 10 pairs of shoes back that were a bad buy and now they're dumping back in their lap. They hate it. They can't stand it. So don't be one of those people. If you want to be on their good side, buy. If you're going to buy in bulk, make smart buys, buy in bulk, move along the product, make the store money, and then have great relationships with the employees in the store. And they're more than likely going to, look after you in the long term.
Yeah, with the store that I had the connection with, it was do a survey and don't return your product to my store. And that's what I did. I returned it to other stores. Now, my philosophy has changed, situations have changed. So I'm going away from the returns, but you really want to respect people's time. And even on the return side, I'm very friendly when it comes to purchasing. I'm at the counter, I'm helping them out. I said, do you want me to take this tag off, whether it's Ross? They all have the security stuff. We're all buying, expensive shoes. So yeah, just be mindful. Hopefully, the tips that we provided were able to find the solution for you, Stevie.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things is we always say, get down in those comments and let's have some dialogue down there and conversation. If you want to, dive a little deeper into some of these topics, throw a comment down there and Joe and myself will jump in there and have some dialogue with you guys and we'll keep it going.
Yeah, also if you want to send us a direct message, like have like a private chat, we're more than welcome to talk to you. I did post a comment. Not a comment, but I did post a picture, and then someone just DM'd me, and then we just started talking. So you got two approachable people that want to help you out, and maybe you could help us out. So you could never stop learning from each other, as I would say.
Absolutely. And I think the more that you have these high-end conversations with people, like-minded people, you're just going to get better and better in what you do.
Exactly. Stevie, where can we find you these days?
All right, so Instagram, stevie.d.reselling, and also on YouTube, also stevie.d.reselling. I promise the videos are coming. I had some DMs this week. People are getting upset with me. I'm
Uh,
doing my best. I've had, extremely busy times between work, kids, hustling, and, some business stuff. It will be coming soon, I promise.
yeah, little Joey keeps asking me. He's like, "Why do I keep
Ah,
watching Hustler Hacks videos? Where's
I'm
Stevie
sorry.
D's videos?"
They'll be out there soon. And where can we find you, Joseph?
You can find me on Instagram at eBay Joey. You can find the show's Instagram at a reseller's journey. You can also find all the media platforms on a resellersjourney.com. So if you guys, want to visit the website, also I might be working on some merch. If you think that's a good idea, let me know. If you think it's a bad idea, let me know. But I think we need some reseller merchandise out there. So I'll be working on that.
As long as it has your handsome face on it with that mustache that you're rocking right now, I'm buying. Let me know, brother.
We're gonna do some 7x10 portraits of you and I, and we'll sign them and send them out. I'm
I'm
just
ready.
joking.
Let me know.
Hey, but also I do want to thank the audience for tuning in. Like I said earlier, if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow Stevie at stevie.d.reselling. You can follow me at eBay Joey, and the show's Instagram at a reseller's journey. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe and follow on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Remember, never forget why you started. Peace.